And this is a love story.
Hello everyone, my name is Ali Cupcakes, and today we have the yearly recap. Welcome to another episode of Yap with me, where I talk about whatever comes to mind. 2025 has been a very long year. It was the one of the stage where I worked for the most of the first half of the year, and the first game that we have been playing was Slay the Princess after so many recommendations, and it didn't disappoint. It's a little weird to have both Baby Me of the start of January and the voiceover over it, but I thought this could work. My hair was so much shorter back then. But anyway, about the game, I really enjoyed the many endings. The art style was delightful, so many drawings it had. And I was familiar with the voice actor because I watched listened to the podcast of the Magnus Archive. Yes, I recognized John's voice. It's very distinct. And here I was laughing because it actually is one of those dating sim kind of game. Thankfully, I managed the saves properly, so it didn't take too long to replay to get all of the endings. But towards the end, I was a little burnt out because some of the princes are really spooky, and this was when I was still in school, so I had plenty of time to play still. Something that I wasn't able to with the after dinner streams, which the stage went well. I didn't get chosen because my other classmate was a little better at it, I guess, but also it's better this way because I can focus on the convention next year, which I already have planned a bunch, most in Italy, where I am from, and a few in France and maybe Germany if I get accepted. Someday I dream to come to the convention in America, in the USA. That will be really cool, but also extremely expensive, and I don't have a passport, so I will need to think about that too. But anyway, there is not gonna be only one gameplay in the video. I have the timeline under my eyes as I'm speaking, and I will talk more about the rest when they arrive. I feel like there is some periods of time where games have a major amount of videos over the channel instead of Speedpaint, because some drawing take very long to be made, while editing VODs is much quicker, but they take hours to be recorded. So it kind of depends to keep them as memory for the people that were in there when they were filmed. While the other art projects are usually very short in the end result, but took way more many hours. Like for example, animatics and merch projects. And I believe we finished Slay the Princess around March.
So onto the first packet, the very first packet.
Then my Genshin Impact card hyperfixation began. A lot of people were collecting Pokemon at the time, but I like it, but not really know how to play the Pokemon TGC. Something that I do know how to play is the invocation Genius Invocation game on Genshin, which is the classic roll the dice, play your cards, there is character cards, there is action cards, so at least I know what we are talking about, and I wanted to find the look, my favorite character, which we did on the very first episode at the highest rarity, and that was crazy. That's probably my most watched short here on YouTube, unless it got changed. Here I was explaining that every card is holographic, so even if you get a low rarity one, they are still very pretty. And it was also my first time filming a card opening stream after the Pokemon one. That was more like of a testing. So we got Ganyu in the very first packet and a level 3 already. I think I have about 5 or 6 of these particular cards, so they are not that rare. But I guess it depends on the batch that you buy. The more boxes you buy, and the more likely you are to find rare cards. But at the same time, I haven't been able to get more of the second batch because they are kind of expensive. So I'm waiting for next year for the third and the fourth batch to come to make a big order. And we'll see. It also depends on the economical situation of next year, if the conventions go well or not, to fund my card collecting hobby. Also, it's true that the cards are in Chinese, but I know what the English ones say in the game, so it wasn't much of an issue. I was considering collecting the English ones too at some point.
You have found yourself a hunter.
You found yourself a hunter.
Every single year, I attempt again my no-hit run on Bloodborne, this time with a timer to make things more professional, and I still haven't managed to find the headspace to properly do one. Technically speaking, I haven't done a no-death run either yet, because the Shadows of Yharnam always stop me. But so far I can manage to get past Amelia hitless, and then the woods begin. Oh god, that was scary. So yeah, you can see kind of why no hitting run is quite difficult. Man, that wolf at the start is gonna be the very first hurdle to get past you, and maybe in the future we'll look back and be like, the wolf was the biggest of our problems. When we get to Rom or Mikolash, oh god, I don't want to think about it right now. But yeah, also this was my first time playing after a long time that I didn't, so that's why I'm a little more clumsy. I should have probably included the last stream that we did instead of the first one, but I'm trying to go chronologically. We had March, then I think this was... I already started working, so it was probably around May or before that. And I can't not go back to Bloodborne. It's such a fun game, I really love it. I don't think I'm particularly good at it to the pro levels, but I know my way around since I finished it, well, at least 10 times now, maybe even more.
This is gonna be our first game, and I know absolutely nothing about it except the music is good and it's really creepy. So let's start a new game. Right? Okay.
This game had a lot of potential, but as you could already see in the menu, the buttons weren't working. It has a lot of technical issues, especially about the saving system. And I can excuse a lot of things in games, like things bit a little janky and stuff. But if I can't save my progress and I have to replay it from the start to get a specific ending, that's not gonna cut with me. So I always enjoyed it for the first couple of hours when the game is fresh. This is an after dinner stream, so I was a little more worn out from the day. So probably that's why my patience was also a little thinner at the time. But great atmosphere, great prompt for the game, terrible execution technically wise. And I know I probably shouldn't complain since I never made a game in my life. But if I did, I would assure myself first thing first that the saved files were kept when you save. But I heard everyone talking about it, so I tried it, but in the end I didn't like it much. Not even the characters, I got really affectionate towards them, maybe because I was skipping too many dialogues, but that was because I couldn't save, so I had to get through the story quickly in eventual case of crashes, which there was.
Look Outside is a masterpiece that I feel like hasn't yet been discovered by the YouTube community. So I kind of want to play it, even though it's very, very spooky, so that I can make my own choices, see what the game has to offer.
On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have Look Outside, a game that is terrifying in my opinion, but I still want to bring it because I love it so much. And no matter how difficult or how many times we died, it never felt unfair. The story is incredibly interesting and it's very show don't tell, so you don't have to spend a lot of time reading what the characters are saying or the notes you can find around, because the environment itself tells the story. Which basically is there is an entity outside that when you look at it, you transform and you become a very scary thing. And the things that we encounter, which can be friendly or not, are very, very scary. This was still when there was only easy and normal mode. The cursed mode, which is the hard mode, got added about 2 months afterwards that I started playing back in August. This was when I finished working. I got a fresh new haircut. I made my roots a little more copper color, and now my hair are so long. I was thinking of cutting them back a little shorter in January, so that they look nice again. I talk a lot about my hair on stream, probably a little too much. But yeah, Look Outside is great. We have finished the hardest mode, but I still want to get the X rating, which is the hardest difficulty, all bosses done. And I'm gonna put the clip of the winning of the curse mode at the end without the spoiler of the last boss. And to next year, there is gonna be much more games to play. And I hope you will come to the streams. Bye bye.
Oh, we did it! We did it! I was like, oh no! The pitchfork left us when its job was already done.